So Samantha, you were also baptised here a few months ago by Bishop Mark, along with Wendy, that night when we had loads and loads of confirmations as well. Tell us a little bit about your life before coming here. What was life like growing up for you?
Right, so for me it's a little bit different. So I was raised Muslim. So I grew up going to madrasa, which is basically the teaching school before you go to sort of mosque, so you know how to read the Quran. And I would go to mosque, and I'd look forward to Ramadan and Eid. So yeah, definitely quite different. But that was how I was raised and how I grew up. Yeah.
And so, tell us what happened when you came to university and walked through those doors.
I walked in, and I don't really know how quite to describe it. It kind of just felt like I'd stepped in from Antarctica and walked into Australia. It was just this blanket, this warmth. I can't really put it into words, but so I came for a little bit, but I think after a little while, I just kind of fell off because it was just that feeling I'd never felt before. And then I came back properly at the beginning of last year, and I went to the worship night, and honestly, it changed my life. I remember speaking to Nick, and she just prayed for me, and again, I was just sobbing because I got that feeling again, that quick switch, that warmth that I felt the first time when I walked through the door. And I came back, and ever since that day, I felt this peace. The only analogy that's sort of coming to me right now is, imagine a bus, right? You're running after this bus, and you don't get this bus. Now, if you put that in terms of my life, if I don't get anything, I'm at peace because I know I've run for that bus and I didn't catch that bus, and that bus was not for me because I know God does not have that in my plan. And so now I'm just so at peace that if something doesn't happen for me, it just wasn't meant to be. So yeah, this church has just changed my whole mindset and my whole life for the better.
And Samantha, tell us, what would you say to somebody who is thinking about exploring who Jesus is?
Do it. I think as sort of humans, we're so fixated on what other people are going to think of us. I think this was definitely a massive thing for me because I had to go through telling my parents, telling them that I'd made this massive change. But before doing it, I just sat myself down and I was like, I live so much for other people and what other people are going to think of me. But this is what I truly want. I want to be a child of God and a believer of Christ. And I did it. And great things are to follow. And I've just my life has changed ever since. And I know it's going to continue to change for the better. So praise God.
Wonderful. Can we give Samantha a big round of applause?